It's your quarterly review. Revenue targets are missed. Your team spent 3 weeks just building a client proposal, which your competitor produced in 3 days. Your operations team is buried under reports. Your legal team is drowning in contracts and reviews. And your product roadmaps is 6 months behind. And then you find out your closest competitor just deployed an AI system that operates with the intelligence of your best senior employee, but it works 24 hours a day, never sleeps, and costs a fraction of a junior hire. This is not hypothetical. This is happening right now in April 2026 because 1 week back, Anthropic released something that is quietly reshaping the competitive landscape for enterprise leaders. It's called Claude Opus 4.7. And if you never heard of it, or you have heard of it but you don't know what it means for your business, then exactly you are at the right place. I am Sagar Nagda, founder of Nimap Infotech. For over a decade now, we have helped startups and enterprises build technology that drive real business outcomes. Today, I am going to break down Claude Opus 4.7 in plain business language. No engineering jargons, no fluff, just what it means for you, your company's revenue, your cost, and your competitive edge. So let's get into it. So, what exactly is Claude Opus 4.7? Think of it this way: in your organization, you have different tiers of people. You have your junior staff who handles daily routine work quickly, your middle level managers who handle complexity with some guidance, and then you have your rare elite senior executives, the one you trust to take on your hardest, most ambiguous problems and come back with a solid plan. Claude Opus 4.7 is Anthropic's version of that elite senior executive. It is the most acceptable, generally available AI model as of today in the market. Now, why this version is different from everything before it? There are number of breakthroughs. It operates without a babysitter. The number one complaint which I hear from CXOs who have tried AI tools, they say it needs constant hand holding. My team spend more time correcting it rather than saving the time. But Claude Opus 4.7 handles complex, long running tasks with rigor and consistency. It pays precise attention to instructions. It devises ways to verify its own outputs before reporting back to you. In business terms, you give it a multi week project brief. It builds a plan, executes against that plan, catches its own mistake, and then comes back to you with a satisfied and finished result. That is a fundamentally different category of AI than what businesses have been experimenting till date. Breakthrough number two: it can finally see your business. Here's a limitation that has quietly hobbled AI adoption in enterprise settings, and almost no one talks about it. Most of your critical business information isn't in clean text files, it's in images, financial charts, architectural diagrams, dense PDFs, scanned documents, and dashboard screenshots. Previous AI models were not equipped with such complex types of inputs. It's like asking your best analyst to review a document from a 30 feet away. But Claude Opus 4.7 is Anthropic first model with high resolution image support. It can recognize complex images, PDFs, charts, pixel level precision. It can analyze your slide decks visually. It can review your scanned contracts as a document, not just extracted characters. For any enterprise running on data heavy, visual rich workflows, finance, legal, architecture, manufacturing, healthcare, this is a category level upgrade. Now coming to the breakthrough number 3, a million word working memory. I want you to imagine a consultant, your absolute best external advisor, who walks into your office, has already read every document that your company has produced in last 3 years, every contract, every board report, every email thread, every policy. That's not how human consultants work, but it's exactly how Claude Opus 4.7 works. It comes with a full 1 million total context window, roughly 750,000 words processed in a single session. That is equivalent of your entire contract library, 3 years of market reports, your full code base, all in context, all at once. This is not an incremental, this is different species of capability. Breakthrough number 4, more power, same price. Price remains unchanged, same cost as the last generation for a model that is dramatically more capable, more performance, same price at enterprise scale. Your competitor deploying Opus 4.7 today is getting effectively a step changing more output in the same AI budget that they had last month. So, theory is done. Now, let's talk about money. How we can implement 4.7 Opus and what are the use cases. Here are 3 specific use cases, not lab experiments, not hypotheses, that enterprises are building right now with models like Opus 4.7 to create real, measurable, competitive advantage. Use case number 1, contract intelligence for legal and finance. Here's the problem statement every CFO or general counsel of a company faces with. Your most senior, expensive legal minds are spending 30 to 40% of their time on document review and due diligence, contract analysis, regulatory filings, compliance checks. It's not glamorous work, but it cannot be done by junior staff without risk. This means 2 things. Your senior lawyers are underutilized on high value strategy, and every major deal or compliance cycles run on an exhaustive, expensive timeline. Now imagine instead you are a CFO preparing close to a $200 million acquisition. You have 600 vendor and employee contracts that needs to be reviewed, indemnification triggers and regulatory exposure before you can close. Traditionally, that takes 6 to 8 weeks of billable hours from a team of associates. Maybe it can cost you anywhere between $500,000 to $250,000 in legal fees, US dollars. With a custom AI system built on Opus 4.7 deployed inside your secured environment, your legal team can upload all 600 documents at once. The model reads each and every clause, flags every risk against your specific threshold criteria, cross-references conflicting terms, and produces a risk report by severity. Your senior lawyers can now review only those 30 to 40 red flag items. Everything else is handled by Claude Opus 4.7. 6 weeks can now become 1 business day. $500,000 to $250,000 in fees just becomes maybe a 1/10 or a 1/5 fraction of that. That deal closes faster and the competitive advantage is yours. Now let's go to use case number 2, autonomous software engineering. I'm going to say something that may make many CTOs uncomfortable, and then I'm going to tell you why it's great news. The majority of work your engineering team does every single day is not creative, it's not strategic, it's repetitive, time consuming, unnecessary work like code reviews, writing test suites, migrating legacy systems, refactoring old code, debugging upstream dependencies. Highly skilled people doing low leverage work. That is the real cost hiding in your engineering budget. There are reports emerging that users are being able to hand off their hardest coding work, the kind that previously needed close supervision, to Opus 4.7 with full confidence. Here is the deployment. You build 4.7 as an autonomous agent across your software development lifecycle. You brief it on a project, say migrating a legacy payment system. It reviews the code base, builds an execution plan, writes the migration code, runs the test suite, identifies failures, debugs them, verifies outputs, and surfaces the finished work for your senior engineer to just review and approve. Your engineering team doesn't get replaced, they get elevated. They stop being the people who write every line of code and they become the people who just validate the architecture. Product cycle compresses, feature velocity increases, and the talent you already have starts operating at a 2 to 3 times productivity. Use case 3: Strategic intelligence for operations and leadership. The modern enterprise is drowning in signals. Competitor moves, market data, customer sentiment, regulatory changes, internal performance metrics, industry news, macro shifts. Nobody, even your best chief of staff, can synthesize all of this fast changing environment and make it actionable. So what happens? Leaders make decisions on incomplete information, or your team spends Mondays gathering the brief instead of acting on it. Here's what you can build. You can create a custom intelligence briefing system on Opus 4.7. Every night, it ingests your pre-approved data sources, competitor press releases, your own CRM pipeline data, industry publication, your internal dashboards, charts and graphs, not just the raw numbers. It synthesizes all of it, identifies 3 most important things that your leadership needs to know, surfaces 2 risks nobody is talking about yet, and delivers a clean, prioritized, sourced executive brief ready before your team even walks into the building on a workday morning. Your workday morning stand up stops being an information gathering session. It becomes a decision making session. Now, your leadership team is faster, better realigned, and acting on a complete information every single week. This is not a marginal improvement, that is a structural competitive advantage which is compounding every single week. But here's where 80% of the enterprise AI initiative dies. They die because nobody asked, how does this live inside our security parameter? They die because the model was trained on generic data, not your specific industry, your specific workflows, your specific terminology, and your specific customized data. They die because the governance framework wasn't built before the system went live, and one bad output becomes a boardroom crisis. They die because team is building it understands AI, but it does not understand your business, and the team that understands your business that does not understand AI. Your enterprise needs its own safety layer, your own governance, your own integration architecture, your own custom training pipeline. And that is exactly what we do at Nimap Infotech. We are not a product company. We don't sell a license and walk away. We are a custom built partner. We embed with your team. We learn your business, your data, your risk threshold, your existing systems, your compliance requirements, and then we architect an AI solutions that is your own, customized to your need, secured, integrated, measurable, and scalable. We have built production ready AI systems for enterprises across industries. We know where the bodies are buried, the integration fail, where are the security gaps, where are the organizational resistance, because we have navigated all of it again and again and again. Here is my honest recommendation to you. Don't wait for your next annual strategy cycle to start exploring this. That cycle is designed for a world where technology moves slowly. The question is whether your leadership team is going to move first or spend next 18 months closing a gap. Now, if you like this video, here's what I want to do right now before the video ends. Click the link in the description below. It goes directly at our website on Nimap Infotech. Tell us the three things. What's your biggest operational bottleneck right now? What your competitors are doing that worries you? And what your timeline looks like. That's it. Our team will respond within 24 hours with a real conversation, not a sales pitch, not a generic proposal. A real conversation about what's specifically possible for your organization with today's technology. And if this video gave you one idea, one use case to implement AI in your company, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. The companies that win this decade will not be the ones simply knew about AI. They will be the one who moved on it, and the windows are still open. I'm Sagar Nagda. Let's build something great together. Bye bye. See you in the next one.